Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to episode 7 of this Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4. This is the Mongolian Khanate for the Horde. In the last episode, we fought and finally, somehow, amazingly beat the Qing Empire and took over their territories, which is good. I'm still kind of in shock that we actually managed to pull that one off. But we did. We definitely did. We now have a lot of recovery to do. We are very short on guns. We had to disband a whole bunch of divisions in order to make sure we had the manpower and the equipment to actually keep on pushing, which thinned our ranks really quite substantially. But we have gained a bunch of manpower, which is excellent, from the Chinese territories, and we have also gained a bunch of factory capacity, so we can start building some more stuff. And that is excellent. And also because that is the end of this war, we don't need to worry about occupations or anything. Now, I have noticed that the Russians are starting to border my territories with some troops, as are the Japanese. So that makes me a little bit nervous. So what I think I'm going to do is we're going to border the Russians and the Japanese with 2 units like that. I'm going to put you all on that front and then split you. And put the rest on that one. So those of you here, let's just do a front line, an offensive line down to about there. And then on the Russian side, I kind of don't want to. No, we would need to fight the Russians on all fronts. I really don't know how we would go after Russia, seeing as we're like in the middle of them. I guess we would have to take out Siberia first and then swing around, but that's going to give them loads of time to establish more things. So actually no, what we would do is make a rush along the steppe for the capital and the actual territory with stuff worth taking. We would go through this way. Alright, well that's at least going to allow us to build up some preparation bonuses. That's the main reason for setting that up. I'm not really planning on going after them. I think my next target will actually be here in Bhutan. And we need a little bit more political power before we can go after Bhutan. But Bhutan is a good target because it is small, it has very few troops and lots of factories. So with that in mind, I think I'm going to grab the infantry divisions. You know what? No. Yeah, we're going to grab the infantry divisions. We're going to split you out into a separate group. Are we? No, we'll just start another front here. Add you to this. Make sure your orders are to take that, and then like so. Right, so we have orders. We also have dockyards, apparently, which I think right now need to be making convoys. We'll do all 4 of that. We are very low on steel. Let's make sure we are importing a little bit of that. It's going to be a little bit more from Germany. Excellent. And are we still providing construction stuff? We are. We are trying to improve infrastructure, and we're going to have to do a bunch of infrastructure work over there as well. But once we've done that, we're going to have a pretty solid interior area, and especially the stuff that we've just taken off of China is going to be extremely valuable for us. The other thing I do need to consider is if we fight Japan, then they're very likely to do naval landings. Anyway, the thing that I wanted to show you over here is Germany is actually managing to push across into France, which is something I don't think I've ever actually seen, like Germany fighting back. And they definitely have more troops than the French do. And double the industry. I mean, usually the British help balancing that out a little bit, and the British have a huge number of divisions, but their industry is struggling rather somewhat. You've got all of your factories already going, or your companies. France doesn't, but Britain does. Interesting. So yeah, that's happening. And Russia. Russia. What am I going to expect from you? I don't know what you're going to do. I don't like it. I don't like not knowing. How's our political party popularity? It's still not great. Alright, those guys are moving around. We should be generating a lot of weapons once again. Annexation of Shangtiang. After hard fighting, we have at last subdued this pathetic Shang-Qing regime. The Khan is pleased with our victories that glorified his rule and made our beloved Mongolia much stronger and larger. There is much to reward ourselves and the soldiers here, including captured enemy suppliers. How should the new populace and these new resources be dealt with. Gain a bunch of manpower but lose political power. Oh man, we're going to be so bad in political. I'm quite happy losing manpower and keep gaining the steel, because we know how rare steel is. Now, we may have lost some of that. In fact, I'm sure we did. So between episodes, I was looking at what we might have lost to the Russians, thanks to their claiming northern Mongolia. And there is also a reason why suddenly we ran out of resources, and namely, I think this is the area they took from us. It's like the richest part of our country. I cannot, confirm that because there are no cores or anything here, and no claims or anything like that. But that is northern Mongolia. And if we're looking at the infrastructure map, well, if we look at the amount of infrastructure here, the bit of the land they took was where the Trans-Siberian Railway was. And if you'll notice, the railways here are all quite good. Although, actually, was I building this bit up? Anyway, I think that is essentially the area that they have just taken from us, and that's also where all the resources were. So that is kind of a reason to go to war with Russia. Plus, they have taken Alashorda, and we know how wealthy that is too. I'm just not sure I like the idea of leaving our back completely exposed to the Japanese if we do that. We need to take more territory. And speaking of taking more territory, I mean, we're going to have to spend a while recovering our political power now, so that we don't go down in stability, but we are going to at some point have to do the fate of the Qing lands, and then probably strike at the Yunnan warlords, which is the Protection League. That's these guys. How strong are they? A lot of divisions, a lot of factories. Another very nice area to take. Ooh, what's this? Combined Syndicates of America took 7 states. The Pacific States of America took 11. The United States was annexed. Wow, that really helps the Pacific States, actually. They took some very valuable stuff. So there's a fair number of factories in these bits. Not as many as around here, but compared to what they had previously, not to mention resources and population. And you're still at war with... Oh, you're only at war with Mexico. You're at war with Mexico? No. So these two are fighting each other and these two are fighting each other. Interesting. But the Pacific States just got a lot bigger, so either Mexico's going to utilize that and push through basically on this entirely new front, which is unguarded and not mountainous like all of this, or they're going to use all of that space to go and crush everything else. After a successful campaign in the northern China, we have the task to establish new local administrative authority in order to restore peace. However, there are several options for our choice. Continue with the occupation, restore the former imperial dynasty, support local republican movement, or set up a regime in northern China. I want this land, but I am also aware that that gives political power, which will save a lot of our problems. And they are puppets, which we can then use. And puppets tend to have more manpower. We probably do need to puppet them, honestly. It's just I want the industry. Are there any resources there? That's the main reason not to puppet. Is if they have a lot of resources. See, they're not that resource rich. This area is. This area is not so much. This is all population, and having them puppeted for population purposes is probably a good idea. They might be somewhat difficult to keep in line, and we'll lose a bunch of factories from doing this, not to mention our coastline. I think we're going to continue with the mill. Oh, that's so expensive, though. Wait, Gansu, Takmalan, Tibet. They're going to be taking like all of this as well? Oh, screw that. Hell no. No, these bits. Tibet is part of Mongolia now. It is Mongol. China was still a bit of a question mark, but after you're trying to claim Tibet, no. Alright, so we do need to go after you. That's going to give us a bit of oil and actually a nice amount of steel, which would be really nice. Then once we've taken that, we can then go for Thailand, which is a veritable gold mine of resources, especially rubber. And we could also go after the Indias, which is especially the Bharatan commune, Loads of resources. So yeah, I mean, ultimately I think our objective is to take over this area before fighting against the Russians or the Japanese. It's a bit of a gamble. Popularity is rising. Excellent. Because we are sinking so low already, I'm going to say fuck it and do it, because we need this to go over 60% so that we can get the heightened, the high party popularity and the more political power gain to recover faster. Because yikes. Alright, Boris Razukin is losing us some, but there's not much that we can do about that, unfortunately. So we're just going to have to struggle on through poor stability. Unfortunately, that is just the way things are. However, we are recovering fairly quickly. And our units should be back up to fighting strength, more or less. What are you lacking? What's lowering you so much? Support equipment. Yes, I can do something about that. Let's go and build some more items. Flanders Wallonia has capitulated. The Flemish Wallonian government has gone into exile and their main forces have capitulated to the Commune of France. France has counterattacked. Of course they have. Damn it, Germany. Can't you do anything right? I mean, seriously. How do you keep on losing this war? They gave you time to recover. Austria's not in. Austria's fighting Romania, though. Oh no, you have a war goal in Romania. You're not actually fighting them. Fair enough. Okay, now that we're starting to get surplus equipment again, we could start training some more divisions. Ooh, concentrated industry, excellent. And construction 3, marvellous. That helps. So let's make sure we get the advanced machine tools. And we already got the mountaineers. It is 1940, so I think we probably need to get those. No, we need the research. Definitely get the research. One simply does not get the research. I think we do need to do the Fate of the Qing Hands, because I think that this is going to give us cores, which will give us even more manpower. Do it. Again, that's going to slow our recovery, so if anything bad happens to us, then we're kind of screwed. Russia is moving troops, but I think they've actually moved troops away from our border. So if they were sensing some weakness for a time, that has since been reduced. Alright. Okay, we are now making a surplus in gear, so I want to start training some of these guys again. Because we're going to need some more units. And also, actually, now that their strength is coming back, all of you lot get training. Yeah, that'll do. We do still have one unit of marginally better troops. Actually, they're still seasoned rather than veteran. And the other unit, I think, was just... or the other 3 units were smashed so hard that they've just become regulars of the Khan's Guard. Yeah, that's Khan Bodyguard, that's Khan Bodyguard, that's one, and that's one. I mean, they still have a fair amount of experience. Don't get me wrong. It won't take them much to upgrade again. But they have taken a bit of a bludgeoning. Combat width of 18, combat width of 16, but they have artillery. In fact, I could add artillery to you. Or I could even make the Khan bodyguards into these guys and then add more cavalry. I kind of like that idea. And then turn the Khan bodyguards into these guys. Do it. And you lot are all mountaineers. Okay, good. So. All of you lot become them. Pretty please. It'll mean you lose a bunch of experience because you're getting a bit bigger in unit size. Not a huge amount. In fact, everyone loses some unit size, which is going to use up a bunch more of our infantry equipment, but that is fine because we are getting more of it back, and that's going to make our cavalry units even stronger. Okay, cool. I am totally okay with this. Right, you lot can rejoin this. Get your preparation bonuses back again. Yeah, the Japanese are putting a lot of troops on my border. I don't like this. Japan, watch it. Watch it. I kind of want to go after these guys as soon as possible too. Oh, there's the destroy the legation cities. Aha. And the German colonies. And there's the Ostindische Gesellschaft. Allgemeine Ostindische Gesellschaft. Which is this bit, which is the really, really rich area. There we go, there's the stability drop. I don't think it's going to drop any further though. Has to be to minus 50. Very low stabilities at minus 250. So yeah, we have to recover another 140 points for it to recover. Which is why we want our party popularity to increase. Pretty please, with a cherry on top. Pacific States of America took 19 states from the United Mexican States. Are you kidding me? Wow. Usually these guys just get annihilated, but they are on a roll right now. And if they get involved in the Civil War again, they're going to win. And if they don't, then that's basically guaranteeing the USA is going to be split in half. Interesting. Alright, so Russia's going after those guys. I think we do have to just push forwards, honestly. We can't justify wars, but we can use the focuses to get those wars that we want. Fate of the Qing lands. The Qing have been defeated. The Mongols have taken the Qing major cities, and the Emperor is now at our mercy. The Qing will rule China. They become a puppet and becomes owner and controller of just those territories, so that is not Tibet. We'll occupy it ourselves. Now, we were already saying that if it wasn't Tibet, we would allow them to have it. So, we'll give them Qing back again. And I will be trying to reduce your autonomy level. But right now, I want your manpower. Mostly I just want your manpower, honestly. So with that in mind, and they're going to be able to build a lot of their own troops, and we know the Qing troops aren't that bad. So, with that in mind, let's open this up. We'll go Qing Empire, and let's have a look at your infantry types. Oh, and you could make me some tanks too. Mountaineers. Let's view your mountaineers. Oh yeah, you do like your artillery, don't you? Is that the only mountaineer that you have? I think so. Let's have a look at your infantry units. Yeah, see that? 20 combat width? That's potent. We know for ourselves just how potent this is. So I think we are going to copy you. And we're going to copy the mountaineers. And let's have a little bit of a look at this. Combat width 22 is not very good. However, that then fixes it. We want to give you support artillery and engineers. Save. And then most of the manpower is going to come from the Qing Empire. And the rest of it from us. However, the material, the equipment is going to come from us. Do we want to do this? No, I don't think we do, actually. I mean, getting the 100 political power is really, really nice. No. Because we don't need manpower that much. If we do need manpower, we can release them and get it that way. But right now, I'd actually kind of prefer the factory, so... Sorry. Gonna have to replay another 23 days, but... There we go, they've won again. No. Alright, decision made. It's fine. It's going to mean losing another 100 political power, though. Oh, you guys need training. That did not take you very long. I have no idea where you are. Fate of the Qing lands, we're going to occupy it for ourselves. Extremely painfully. And the Russians are coming back again. Yes, how's Germany doing? Losing. Quelle surprise. Well, hopefully this means that Communion of France and Britain can budge up against Russia, and then these two can fight forever and ever and ever and ever. Ooh, motorized, that means we can get hospitals at last. Where are you? You're on that side. And you? Oh, there as well. Okay, so new technology is going to be manpower saving. That one. How are we doing for equipment? We have 4.9 thousand infantry equipment. We don't have much artillery or support equipment. And actually, knowing what we know about how strong artillery is, let's start beefing up our support weapon output, and also start getting ourselves some motorized, so that we can actually use the hospital stuff. We're going to have to buy in some tungsten, some oil. Don't have many factories available though. Alright, oil, Pacific States, fine. Tungsten, Pacific States. We're going to make them our main trading partner right now, because I think they're the least aggro, usually. The FAI has declared war on Portugal. That's usually the end of Spain, because Portugal joins the Entente. The Entente invades and completely wipes them out. Unless the FAI can take them out quickly. No, Portugal allied with Germany. Mistake! Okay, Portugal's dead. Downfall instability. Very low. Oh yes, we'd already seen that. No, we hadn't. It was only low last time, right, because it dropped below 250. It should recover. We don't have a focus right now, thanks to the fate of the Qing lands. I was kind of hoping that that would give us cause. Bring down the Yunnan. No, we need to recover. We really need to recover. Ah, crap, the Russians are coming back in force. Go away, Russia. Where are you? On that side, and you are definitely down here, although this fight's not going to happen for a long time, because we're not going to have the political power to justify the war, are we? That is true, Mordred. That is very true. Oops, I did not mean that. I meant this. Just keep on churning out troops. I mean, we are still only on limited in conscription, so we can get more manpower fairly easily. Plus, we can get the conscript the tribesmen and conscript the conquered peoples, which gives us a further 7? No. 6. Minister supports his ideology. Son of a bitch. That's the one that we did not want to see. We've still not gone up in political. Because that's showing us 59, even though that's showing us 60. Oh, 59.2. Yeah, that does not make 60. Damn it. Oh, I am not sure at all about this Russia thing. Russia is way too strong. They had to have the Civil War. Ah, irritating. Okay, you two are now ready to join the Bhutan front, though I don't think it's going to get us anywhere. No, it's not. Unknown focus, right, because we have no decryption, so we can't see any of this stuff. Oh, it's irritating. Come on, Minister supports ideology. Let me get above 60%, please. Like, as much as I want very high party popularity, I'll even take the 0.25 addition. There we go. Our economy should stabilise now that we're above minus 250. Or below, or whichever way around that works. Right, you can deploy there. Yeah, that's fine. Go. And then once you have deployed, you can join an army, which is to be garrisoned there. And when you are in that army, you are training. Like so. Marvellous. Okay. Still a bit short on artillery, but we should be making up that deficit. We are still very short on support equipment. That's going to be slightly harder to overcome. Although we are making more and more of that stuff. And we are getting some motorized, which means we can add field hospitals once we've researched it. 121 days. And that's going to really help us on the manpower and the experience. Russian states declared war on the German Empire. Interesting. Right, that's not going to be good for Germany, but that's going to crush Germany even faster, bringing Russia and France into conflict more quickly. With that in mind, that does change my own priorities somewhat. I think we need to go after the Yunnan warlords. And start consolidating here. Before Japan remembers we're a thing. Off you go. And we've already built up tons of stuff. Planning thing. The thing that makes fighting better. You know what I mean. Alright, you guys are arriving. You guys are still in training. We have got sufficient supplies. Artillery is now making a surplus. We're still a little bit short on support equipment. What are we constructing right now? We're still doing the infrastructure. And I think that's fine. I mean, most of our civilian factories at the moment, unfortunately, are being spent on trade. Oh shit, we have a big surplus. Yeah, get rid of that. And one more. Okay, now we have some more civilian factories. We've just got another 3, so that infrastructure can be finished faster. And another important point of infrastructure actually would be to get you up to 5, and you up to 5, and you up to 5. Because otherwise all of this stuff is kind of isolated. And those 2 are 5, let's make you a 5. Let's just get everything to 5. Like so. And then we can start on the factories again. Russia has declared war on Armenia, fighting on 2 fronts. Interesting. Not that Russia can't do that, though. Ukraine's been crushed already. Baltic states are going to be crushed. Germany's now having to switch troops over to Russia, meaning France can just take over Germany even quicker. It's like worst possible case scenario for Germany. Now we do need to bear in mind that once we've taken over the Yunnan warlords, we're going to lose another bunch of our political power. The Portuguese government has gone into exile and the main forces have capitulated to the Federación Anarquista Ibérica, who is now in control of their home area. Yeah, because you joined Germany, that was a silly idea. You should have joined the Entente, they could actually have saved you. Then once we're done with this, I think we may actually go after these 2 and consolidate our hold over China. Once we have that, we're actually in a fairly decent position, because we can just churn out loads of soldiers, and if we need to, puppets. And basically just put up a human wall. A human Great Wall. It was built to keep the Mongols out. Well, we're going to build one to keep everyone else out of the Mongol land. What the hell research was this? no idea. It wasn't the doctrine. It wasn't the hospital. Oh, it was that one. Okay. You're doing all of that. I mean, we could do the reinforce rate, though we're usually kind of on the very edge of the amount of resources we actually have to use. So maybe not. Maybe better artillery? Especially if we start emphasizing artillery more in our units. Though we'll have support artillery. I do want to eventually change to mobile artillery, but that stuff's expensive. We're going to be using a manpower intensive army, at least for the time being, so it was probably a mistake going mobile doctrine. Probably should have gone... Oh, go away. Increase in stability. That's not going to last long, because we just went down again. We should have gone grand battle plan or mass assault. Probably even mass assault. And maybe use puppet armies. Don't know. Tough decision. Are we training more troops? Not really. How far off are we from this attack? Getting close. 17 days. Well, with that, I'm going to have to end this episode, so if you wish to see how this war goes, you will have to tune in next time. If you're enjoying the series, then please do hit that like button. If you haven't done so already, then do consider subscribing, and if you have any tips or advice for me, let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.